Words are very important. If we do not have words, we cannot know how to communicate with one another. Words can be things that we speak out loud. It can be things that we say with our hands, American Sign Language. That's awesome. Those are words. We communicate in all sorts of different ways. But our words have power. They can bring good. They can strengthen us. They can strengthen relationships. They can also weaken friendships, families, and other things. So what we want to talk about is how to use your words for good and how to work on words when they may be holding you back from things.
I've been called worse. Really, truly. I've been called an idiot and a stupid and disgusting and fat and ugly and worthless and worthless. And I was called those things by people that were supposed to love me the most and protect me the most. So, your words are very powerful and they have a lasting effect whether you know it or you're not, or if you care or if you don't. So my story is, you probably have heard a little bit about it. My dad was a very abusive alcoholic, and he was abusive in all the ways if you can think of how an abusive person would be. And not only did I have it from my father, but I had it from my stepfather because my parents divorced when I was 2 years old. So I was constantly bombarded with, really negative things. So as I got older, I started to believe all those things, started to believe how stupid I really was, and I would never amount to anything, and I wished I was never born. Maybe some of you feel like that. Maybe some of you have heard those things. But the thing is that when I got older, those things had a direct impact on me because I didn't have low self-esteem. I had no self-esteem, and I was a really broken person. So it kind of affected me into my adulthood when I got hooked up with guys that were just like my dad's. So the verbal abuse continued. The only place that I actually found peace was at work. You're such an awesome worker. You're so reliable. You're great and you're organized and this. And I'm like, why are they saying all these things? That's not me. I'm just dumb and stupid and I don't know what I'm doing. But the good thing about it is because all those things that my dad's said to me, it made me who I was then. But when I turned 40 years old, my best friend Kathy, she's like my sister, we had the pleasure of working together. And her dad used to come to our office. And he came through the back door one day, and I saw the light shine through, and they met each other. But the weird thing about it was I was all the way at the front of the other building, and I had earphones on, and I'm working with heavy equipment. And then when the door opened and they hugged each other, I thought, I wasn't jealous of my friend. I just thought, I wish my dad loved me like that. And God spoke to me like he took off the earplugs and he turned off the compressor and he pulled the cotton out of my ears. And he pulled 40 years of verbal abuse out of my head, and he says, Jamie, I am your father and I do love you. Right? So God knows that I have a really weird sense of humor, and I started crying, and I'm like, God, you're so good, because that's like Darth Vader stuff right there. Jamie, I am your father. But at that point, I actually was able to heal from 40 years of, hatred. I actually hated my earthly fathers for doing what they did to me. But on that day, this veil was lifted off of me, and the heaviest weight was lifted off of my shoulders. And I started to grow into, a beautiful, smart, funny, intelligent person. What God intended for me to be from the beginning. But my heavenly fathers told me otherwise. But I knew that moment when that was lifted off of me, that the love from my heavenly Father surpassed everything, and it was the most awesome thing.
Let's be honest with each other. We're never going to be totally We're never going to totally escape profanity and inappropriate language. We live in a culture that uses it. Whether we realize it or not, we are influenced by it. With that being said, we don't have to give in to it. If you find yourself liking a popular song or album that uses profanity, find a clean version. If there's not one, don't buy it. If a radio station or TV show you like has suggestive content, which means bad, find a news station to show. If a movie is too suggestive, again, bad, or uses profanity in every other sentence, turn it off. Getting rid of some outside influence will change how you think, act, and speak.
Yeah, last night, remember that movie we were watching?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It was very bad language.
Like, the first thing we turned it on, it was like F-bomb, S-bomb, F-bomb, GD. I'm like, it was like little darks hitting me. And I'm like, man, can't they say anything better than that? Give me the remote control.
And you know, me and Miss Jamie, we don't participate in any of that. So, you know, one of the things that I found in changing the channel, it's my biggest Christian qualities are not given to me, or not just I have them. The things that I have and that are just given to me are mainly negative stuff. I negatively, want to swear from a young age. I negatively, want to smoke cigarettes. And I thought these things were good for me as a young age. And I realized those things were all easy and they were bad. The things that I have that are good, and the things that I have that I call Christian and my faith, are things that I had to work for. The cussing wasn't easy. I thought I was going to cuss again. I made a deal with God. All right, Lord, here's the thing. I'm only going to cuss around adults, okay? No kids. I'll make sure that no kids, just adults. I'm in the parts room, and I dropped the F-bomb. In the parts room, we're only employees, adults, and one of the employees has their 5-year-old little kid in the aisle behind me that I didn't see. I said, all right, Lord, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. And so there's no making deals. You have to practice to do the next right thing. It's not easy. I got people slandering me for being a Christian. You know what? I can verbally assault them also, but I choose not to, and it saddens me because I have to take it day in and day out. I told Jamie Saturday was an awesome day. A couple people weren't there to slander me, and the people who were there, we had a better relationship that day that it hasn't been like that in a while. Because I have to deal with it all the time because I think I'm the only Christian in the building at times. And that's not true. It just feels that way. So even though we take the abuse, we still need to change the channel and do the next right thing.
I believe you are the way, the truth, the light. I believe you are every blessing, every promise, every breath I take. I believe that you are provider, you are protector.